Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into a really compelling novel, Yuzuki Asako's Butter.
Yes. It's quite something.
It really is. On the surface, it reads like a crime story. There's a serial, mysterious death case, a journalist digging for the truth.
But it uses that frame to explore so much more, doesn't it? It's really this intense look at female identity, appetite, rebellion even.
And food. The role of food is just central, almost transformative.
Yeah.
And sometimes dangerous.
Totally. Your sources kind of frame it like a social study wrapped up in this very rich, high-calorie drama. It's like a recipe for understanding modern women under all these pressures.
Well, you have these three key women.
Exactly. And they're all wrestling with hunger. Literally for food, yes, but also, hunger for status, for power, for real freedom defined by themselves.
Okay, so that's our mission today then. Let's try and unpack the specific ways this story uses food, especially this obsession with butter, to explore that clash.
The clash between that deep, sort of visceral bodily desire and all the expectations society piles on.
And just to be clear for everyone listening, we're keeping this completely spoiler-free. We want to give you the context, the themes, the setup, without ruining the actual plot.
Absolutely, just the appetizers today.
Perfect. So where do we start? Rika.
Yeah, let's start with Machida Rika. She's our way into this world, the journalist. And she really embodies that before picture, the constrained woman.
Definitely constrained. She's described as super hardworking, professionally competent, but her personal life, it feels really empty, vacant.
Emotionally and culinarily, right?
Totally. Surviving on instant noodles, convenience store stuff, just completely detached from cooking, from nourishing herself.
And then there's that rule, that really strict self-imposed rule.
The weight thing, keeping herself under 50 kilograms, it's tied to her, quote, aesthetically conscious mother.
Which is telling in itself, but it's bigger than that, isn't it? It feels symbolic of that wider societal thing. Women needing to be small, take up less space, physically, emotionally.
Yeah, she's basically starved of any real, authentic desire at the start, running on fumes.
But then the case happens. She starts covering Manako Kaji, the woman accused in these deaths.
And bam, suddenly she's thrown into this world of food, but like two completely opposing philosophies of it.
Right. On one side, you've got her best friend, Reiko.
Reiko's home cooking, which sounds lovely, actually. Seasonal, nourishing.
Familial warmth umami, that deep, savory, comforting thing. It represents safety, balance, care. It's the food of the societal ideal, maybe. What a good woman provides.
Okay, so that's one pull. Safety, nourishment.
But then the other pull comes from Kaji herself, the defendant.
And this isn't about safety at all. It's that butter soy sauce rice.
Ah, yes. Your sources describe that as powerful and wicked deliciousness, something totally different.
It takes Rika to an unknown place, apparently. A backhanded and sensual joy.
Exactly. If Reiko's food is about sustenance and care, Kaji's seems to be about pure, unadulterated pleasure, maybe even transgression.
It's like moving from polite eating to demanding desire. An intellectual leap, almost.
Yeah, well put. And what happens when Rika starts giving into that? When she starts cooking, using butter?
She gains weight. But, and this is the fascinating part, that increase in size seems directly linked to her confidence boosting.
She's literally taking up more space, asserting herself physically.
Which, of course, can't go unchallenged.
Oh, absolutely not. The pushback is immediate. That text message from her boyfriend, Makoto.
Ugh, that line message.
Oh.
Cutting. Criticizing her weight gain.
And the way he frames it, a man's fat and a woman's fat are different, aren't they? I'm saying this for your own good, Rika.
For your own good. That phrase just drips with passive aggression, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It makes restriction sound like care.
It perfectly highlights the societal norm she's starting to bump up against. Makes rejecting it seem selfish.
Yeah, it really sets the stage for the conflict.
And leads us right to Manako Kaji, the source of this disruption. The anti-heroine who refuses to apologize for her appetites.
Kaji is just such a presence. She takes up space, physically and philosophically, without any apology. She completely rejects the societal premium on thinness.
That famous quote of hers, it's basically her whole platform, right?
Dieting is the most meaningless, ridiculous, and unintellectual act. Just lays it out there.
It's so direct, but what's interesting is how she uses appetite. It's not just about enjoying food, it's a tool.
How so?
Well, the sources say she weaponizes cooking. It's not about hospitality or nurturing in her hands. It's described as a way to charm and control men. Domination, essentially.
Mind and body control through butter-heavy cuisine.
Exactly. Power disguised as pleasure. And she's meticulous about it. The quality of the ingredients is paramount. Ecker's butter, Kalbis butter, the best stuff.
That description of her experiencing truly good butter is not light or airy.
No, not at all. It's the sensation of falling, not floating up, but a deep sinking into the body from the tongue. It's heavy, visceral.
Resulting in a golden color flavor, it sounds intense, like a complete surrender to the physical.
Bypassing the rational mind, maybe? Pure indulgence. A sort of spiritual giving in to the body.
And that need for control, for submission, seems to define her relationships too.
Absolutely. She's very clear. I don't need friends. All I want are worshipers.
Worshipers. Wow. That's quite a statement.
It really clarifies the dynamic. And it's echoed by others, like that victim sister who said her brother was just one of her worshipers. It's about devotion, not connection.
Okay, so Kaji is this pole of like extreme desire, deviation, control through indulgence.
Which makes the contrast with Rika's best friend, Reiko, even sharper. Reiko is the mirror image.
The embodiment of the ideal, successful career woman turned perfect homemaker.
Exactly. Former corporate PR, now totally focused on domestic life, trying for a baby. She looks like she has it all figured out, the perfect recipe for a woman's life.
But the sources make it clear that's just the surface, right?
Oh, definitely. Underneath, she's really struggling with the pressure of being a woman. That decision to leave her career wasn't simple. It was driven by this intense desire to create the ideal family.
So she sacrificed one kind of power for the appearance of another kind of harmony.
And maybe feels trapped within that ideal she chased. Because she has internalized it so completely, Rika's transformation, the weight gain, the fascination with Kaji, it terrifies her.
It's not just concern for her friend.
It feels like more than that. It's like Rika deviating from the right path threatens Reiko's own choices, her own sacrifices. There's a real desire to control the situation, keep things in line.
Which explains that scene where she tries to secretly visit Kaji.
Right, to save Rika. It shows her strong sense of what's right, but also her fear, her vulnerability, the weight of those expectations she carries.
That protectiveness, or maybe possessiveness, sets up the inevitable clash, doesn't it? As Rika gets drawn deeper into Kaji's orbit.
Yeah, their relationship is described as this sensual mentorship, not friendship, something riskier. Kaji is this dangerous and fascinating presence.
And Rika even admits it to Kaji. I think it's because I like you. That feels like crossing a line.
It really does. And Kaji, being the manipulator she is, knows exactly where to strike back against Reiko's influence.
She targets Reiko's core identity.
Precisely. Calling her my mother's double, suggesting she's not properly held, it's a direct assault on the domestic foundation Reiko built her life on.
Ouch. That's brutal.
Which leads us to maybe the most startling piece of Kaji's philosophy, that confession.
Yes. The two things she cannot forgive.
Feminists?
And margarine.
Okay, wait. Feminists and margarine. How on earth does she equate those two? That seems contradictory, given her own rejection of norms.
It is contradictory, and that's part of the novel's complexity. Her feminism, if you can call it that, is extremely unconventional. She seems to argue that true female power, a kind of goddess-like freedom, comes from embracing traditional nurturing roles, specifically cooking, but taking them to an extreme, using them to dominate.
So feminists are
What?
trying to achieve power the wrong way, intellectually instead of viscerally through the kitchen. Kind of. And margarine fits because it's seen as fake, a cheap imitation, an unintellectual substitute for the real, potent, glorious fat of butter. Both feminism, as she defines it, and margarine represent a compromise, a lack of commitment to true, powerful substance.
Wow. So she's radical in her actions, the excess, the control, potentially murder, but her underlying ideology about female power is rooted in a hyper-traditional domestic role.
Exactly. She rejects compromise entirely. She takes the kitchen, the traditional female space, and turns it into a site of absolute power, a throne.
That is a fascinating twist. No wonder Rika gets drawn in.
And Kaji tests that loyalty, pushes Rika further with that final culinary mission.
The salt butter ramen test, which sounds utterly bizarre.
The conditions are incredibly specific. Not just any ramen, but shio butter ramen from a particular chain, tea in Shinjuku.
Okay.
But eaten under very specific circumstances immediately after sex, between 3 and 4 a.m., and ideally when it's cold outside.
What is the point of all that? It sounds like some kind of ritual.
I think that's exactly it. It's not just about taste. It's about breaking down barriers. connecting the act to raw physical sensation immediately after sex, pushing Rika into discomfort and transgression, the dead of night, the cold,
forcing her out of her safe, convenient routine.
into a zone of intense experience. It's like knowledge has to be earned physically, viscerally, a test of commitment to sensation over societal norms.
And Rika actually does it, which says a lot about how far she's come, or maybe how much influence Kaji has. She chooses this intense experience, even with her relationship with Makoto being so stale.
She chooses desire, sensation, knowledge, over conformity.
But that choice has consequences.
Oh, big time. It causes a huge rift with Reiko. Reiko sees her as becoming crazy, idealizing a murderer. She can't accept this path Rika's taking.
Because Rika is finding her own appropriate amount, her own taste.
Exactly that term, takirio. Appropriate amount, appropriate taste. Reiko represents the world demanding a single, correct takirio. Kaji represents blowing that concept up entirely.
And Rika, through this whole process, starts to figure out her own takirio, realizing she'd spent her life looking for warmth and care from others.
Instead of defining her own hunger, her own needs, her own pleasures, just like the victims, perhaps, seeking something they couldn't quite name.
So the novel really puts that question to you, the listener, doesn't it? Who gets to decide what's appropriate for you?
How much pleasure, how much ambition, how much butter is okay? Society wants that neat, balanced recipe. Kaji is the embodiment of excess, questioning whether women need to be restrained at all.
It forces you to ask, are you consuming what you truly desire, or are you sticking to the diet society prescribes? That search for your own butter, that authentic, self-defined pleasure, maybe that's the whole point.
And finding your takirio, your own appropriate amount, might mean the world thinks you're excessive, or strange, and even dangerous. It reminds you that sometimes the people who seem to have the perfect recipe on the outside,
They might be the ones starving on the inside.
precisely.
A perfect, thought-provoking place to end our deep dive. Thanks for exploring that with me.
My pleasure. It's a rich text.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us.